The Toronto Maple Leafs are just one win away from winning their first round playoff series since 2004. It's been that long. Yes, I was a little kid the last time the Maple Leafs got past the first round. But it seems like it could, in fact, become a reality as soon as Thursday after the Maple Leafs beat the Lightning 4-3 in an instant classic in Game 5. And boy, oh boy, did this game feel like it was not going to be a Leafs win in the early get-go. In one of the worst first periods the Leafs had played, and that's saying something because they played a pretty horrible first period in Game 4. But after a terrible first period where the Leafs were down 2-0, this basically encompassed every Leafs fan. Kyle Dubas's reaction summed it up. The here we go again. Are we really going to choke? Are we really going to lay an egg in a must-have-it game in front of our home crowd in Game 5? As this tweet also said, needless to say, this third period is massive for the Leafs. The Leafs were down 2-1 going into the third period, and then their top guns absolutely delivered. The Leafs scored 3 in the period, and it was capped off by the go-ahead goal from Austin Matthews, the Leafs superstar, a guy who was called on by many fans to step up in this very moment, and he did, coming through with superstar play, getting one past Vasilevsky as the Maple Leafs win this game. As Brian Hayes put it, what a win for the Leafs. One of the worst first periods in years, but huge character check. Nylander, Tavares, Marner, and Matthews showed up and erased Game 4. Some other reactionary tweets, this one from Nick Richard. Austin Matthews led the Leafs with 7 hits tonight. Mitch Marner was second with 4. The Leafs' best players were engaged and battling all night. And this felt different. Usually when we saw a movie like this, it ended the same way over and over, where the Leafs just laid an egg and they would have to answer to the media post-game about why they didn't show up. But the Leafs battled back, and we hadn't seen this type of comeback in a playoff atmosphere since when they did it against Columbus, down 3 goals. They fought back, they were engaged, they were playing at such a high level that suggested if this Leafs team can play like this every single period, every single game, who the hell is going to stop them in the Eastern Conference? And this was a big bounce-back game for William Nylander, a guy who was getting a ton of hate all over. As Tim McAuliffe said this, William Nylander now has 8 goals in his last 12 playoff games. His 13 points in those 12 games played leads the Leafs. So all of that BS Nylander slander can go away after what we have seen from William Nylander. And what I found interesting about this Leafs comeback is actually what Jonas Siegel said after the game. Austin Matthews and John Tavares both say an intermission speech from Jason Spezza inspired the Leafs comeback. And that's why you need a guy like Jason Spezza on your team, that veteran presence. Because when those young kids are reeling, when those young kids feel like they're going to give up and they're gassed, you need somebody to be in your face and tell you that you can do it. And what an impact, what a presence Spezza has been in the locker room all season long for this Leafs team. So I definitely believe that was the boost the Leafs needed to come out guns a-blazing as they did in that third period. So all of a sudden, the Leafs, they are up 3-2 and are 1 win away from sending this fan base into an absolute frenzy. I don't want to jinx it. There's still so much more to be done, but it's something everybody's talking about. Thursday night, a chance for the Leafs to clinch the series. But I want to say this. A lot of people are overreacting just a tad bit. And I mean, that's what happens when you haven't won a playoff series in what feels like forever. As Paul Bissonnette wrote, Leafs are winning the cup. You're seeing these type of crazy reactions from everybody. Because a lot of people feel that if the Leafs can get by this series, nobody is stopping them to at least a Stanley Cup appearance. But before we get to that conversation, they need one more. And as the late, great Kobe Bryant said, job's not finished. The Maple Leafs need that mentality because you still got to get one more against the 2-time Stanley Cup champs. And they're going up against an undefeated record. That is Vasilevsky and the Lightning, rebounding coming off of a loss. Can they finally put an end to that 16-0 streak, that perfect run on Thursday? And can the Leafs win this game and not have to come home for a Game 7 on Saturday? That remains to be seen. But I will say this in closing. I know there's a lot of excitement, but there's still a lot of work to be done. It's the Leafs, for crying out loud. This is a team that you can never fully trust. You can never fully be confident with. Let's not forget, they blew a 3-1 series lead against the Habs just last year. They were up 3-2 against the Boston Bruins in 2019. They ended up losing both series. So to say this one is over is disrespectful to what the Layin have accomplished and to the championship pedigree that they have. So let's just enjoy this win. Let's savor the moment. But there's a lot that needs to be done. Thursday will be the scene when the Leafs have a chance to close this series out in Tampa. We'll see if they get it done.